understand, right? RFK,
this guy.
RFK just goes, like, look, I understand, your heart and where it's at, right? Red 14 is gonna come, and the red guys are gonna come in and they're gonna kill everybody.
It wasn't a dog in Korea, it was a goat.
Yeah.
You ate a dog, bro.
Yeah. It's like, I ate a goat. Nope, you ate a dog. You ate a monkey. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Genius Brain Podcast. I'm currently in the middle of a move, so if you've noticed in the last month or so, I haven't changed clothes. It's because I packed everything, and so I'm only recycling 4 shirts and 3 shorts and 10 boxers. Right. Just keep it going over and over and over again. I refuse.
I hate moving.
Oh, dude, I've moved every year.
Yeah.
For the last 5 years, and it's pretty insane how much we've moved. Especially because of COVID.
Yeah.
COVID right now feels like a fucking fever dream to me.
Yeah, it just came and went, and then I was like, hey, remember when that bomb went off?
Yeah.
We kind of lived through a 9/11, the whole world thing, but we're just kind of moving on. It's 2 million people died.
Yeah, we were talking about it. Who was I talking to about? I can't remember anymore. It's usually when I'm high. But it was just that 3 or 4 years. It's 4 years that were just deleted out of our life. Do you remember? It was only supposed to be maybe a month or 2.
Yeah, and then it went on for a year and a half.
Yeah,
plus.
And then the economy and everything else, nothing really went back to normal. We thought it was going to go back to normal, but it was almost 3 years of us just trying to pick up the pieces. It changed the work industry in general.
Yeah.
Everybody, all these companies, they were we're going to have to do work from home. We're forced to do it. And then I would say half the companies are let's just keep it this way.
But what's the push now with everyone to be hey, you have to come into the office?
I think from what I've asked from other people who own, they don't own, but they're on the higher end of the companies, is productivity level went down a lot.
Right.
Not because people are working less or they're not working as hard. It's just that they, you have to it's the meetings part that they were explaining to me.
Right.
So for example, let's say you work for a big company, right? And your stuff is in production. Well, if you're in production and there's an idea that happens or something that changes within the workflow, you just walk over to them and be hey, so this is what's happening. Right. But instead, now you have to set up 13 meetings with 40 or 50 people, set up their schedule. Right. And so it adds a gratuitous amount of time that you didn't need before.
Right.
When before you could just set out an email, hey, there's a meeting here, let's all meet up, let's chop it up. You guys talk about it, you get in and out of that meeting really fast, but now that's extended by 2 or 3 times. Mm-hmm. So just scheduling everybody to get together so they could complete a task is 10 times harder. Because then if you're a company who has international workers, because you're already doing that with international people, and now you have to do that locally too, so you waste an absorbent amount of time. And I never thought about that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's why a lot of these companies are hey, we gotta, if you're here in the US, you have to work at this company because now we're just wasting time. So what they figured out for my buddy's company anyways, is that they saved costs on building stuff, right? So we could shut this building down. Not everybody's working here, but they found out that efficiency wise, they got fucked. So they're, companies are figuring out the go-between, which is now it's half and half. So if you're in the area, meet up here half the time and the other time we don't. So we can go ahead and find a good medium between this.
Yeah, I couldn't think of it that way because I was thinking more or less the environment, the work environment. People are well, I like my bedroom. Whereas for me, I cannot work in my bedroom.
Oh, it's hard.
I have to set up a desk outside of the bedroom somewhere else. And then even then I'm not really in a good working mood, I guess.
Yeah.
For some reason, unless I feel like I'm in a cubicle or something.
No, it's true though, because even for Mariel, it was a really hard shift for her to work at the house because it's also too for people who like to socialize even a little bit, going to work and being in a workspace puts you in a work mood.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's how it is for me too. When I'm at home, I'm struggling to open up that laptop because I'm in the comfort of my home.
Yeah. The bed is right there.
Yeah. I can just chill. And then also too, I noticed a lot of people who work from home, they got really fat.
Yeah.
Because your fridge is right there.
Right.
So, you know what I mean? You just go out and fucking grab. Even yesterday too, I wasn't hungry. I would say after I ate, I wasn't hungry, but there was always food in my mouth because I'm just home.
Right.
all the time. You know what I mean? And now, because I'm in the middle of a move, I don't have healthy options at my house. All the cooking stuff is gone. I literally am just eating everything possible in the house that I didn't touch, which is what? All the food I shouldn't be eating.
Right.
So,
And also you're smoking weed.
oh,
And then even for me, I picked up weed again because of 420.
Yeah,
I swear to God, I can't just put it down. But like, I think I'm gaining a bunch of weight too because I'll like all the little like foods I had to prepare for meals and such. Like even if it's like cereal and shit, I ate it all.
of course.
So now
What else are you supposed to do?
my fridge is like all out of whack. I have a bunch of frozen chicken breasts and white rice and kimchi, and like all the other little things I just kept snacking on.
You know what the thing is like I always get that message because I lost a lot of weight, like, twice in my life. And I always tell people too, they go, oh, losing weight is hard. I was like, losing weight actually isn't hard. The methodology is very easy. It hasn't changed.
Right.
You eat less, you move more, and everybody knows what's healthy.
Right.
We all do, right? Let's not fucking lie to ourselves. You don't think we know what's fucking healthy? If we go into a fucking grocery store, they go veggie, protein, minimal starch, and you're pretty much good, right? It's just hard because I hate it.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
dude, ramen and Uncrustables, like it's so much easier.
Let me tell you something, dude. Encrustables, so genius. Who the fuck can't make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich?
Yeah.
But you have any idea how fucking fat and lazy you have to be to buy a pre-made peanut butter and jelly sandwich? You fucking lazy fat fuck, dude. I'm talking to myself.
Yeah.
And then I fool myself where I go, you know what? It's because it tastes better. No, it doesn't. No, it fucking doesn't. It's literally a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Maybe it's because they just have the right ratio and portion because a machine squeezes it out into a pouch of bread.
Dude, I saw
white bread.
It's not even some artisanal bread. It's some fucking. It's the white bread that I used to covet all the white kids for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, dude. When I was a kid, man, when I would go to school and those fucking poor ass white kids, you know what I mean, the fucking welfare white kids would have the American cheese, ham, and mayo sandwich.
Yeah, and just white.
I wanted that shit so.
Yeah, it's just it looked clean.
I would stare at that shit and I'd be like, "Yo, let me get some of that, dog." And they would look at me like I'm the dumbest motherfucker on earth. They're like,
Because
"You want
our
this?"
parents don't know how to make a fucking sandwich.
They would.
Korean immigrants,
It's like,
they
yo.
don't understand sandwich.
Yeah. Could you put some? Could you take the perilla leaf out of my fucking sandwich?
Yeah.
Like, god damn it.
I have a friend who was late to work, like early after high school, and then he's like, "Mom, can you make me a sandwich for lunch? I don't have time to make my own, and I'm gonna jump in the shower, right?" And so when he gets out, he grabs the bag and goes to work, and then during the lunch break, he finally, opens the bag. White bread, peanut butter, mayo, mustard,
What the fuck?
lettuce, and like deli meat, jelly, and white bread.
What the fuck did you just say? That is disgusting.
I think because his mom just doesn't know how to make a sandwich. It's Korean mom.
Yeah, but also, is she retarded? Like, what the fuck? Would she eat that?
I think she's just Korean mom's like, oh, is this what they eat?
Dude,
like when they're at work.
Dude, if my mom made that sandwich for me, I would ask to be adopted. Like, please, get me the fuck out of here, dude. I'll go with that white family with the fucking...
He literally didn't throw it away. He saved it, kept it so he could take it back home to show his mom, what the fuck is this?
It's like, you know how I get like D's and F's in school? Yeah. You got an F now too.
Yeah.
He just fucking writes it on the fucking sandwich. Dude, my mom would never, like, I remember just as a kid, if I think about it now, like all the food that I wanted to eat is substantially more garbage than the food that my mom would make.
Yeah.
It's like the shit that you go to restaurants for that you pay for. But then I would be like, dude, why can't you just give me a fucking ham and cheese sandwich?
And then you actually finally have like Lunchables. And you're like, what's the big fucking deal?
What was Lunchables did such a good job at marketing because that's probably one of the worst. It's like garbage.
It's garbage food. It's not enough food either.
Yeah. And I only realized this because like last year when I was driving to Sacramento, I got a Lunchables at the gas station. And I'm like, dude, fucking nostalgia.
Yeah.
Ate that shit. I fucking spit it. I was like, what the fuck is... It's the worst thing I've ever eaten.
The ham is like this weird cube when you bite into it,
and then it's like
the
the most disgusting tomato sauce I've ever had. Why did I like it? It's just because other kids had it and I didn't.
Yeah.
And so I wanted it. I will say though, Capri Suns, delicious.
Yeah.
That's fucking good.
Yeah.
Did you used to stab it from the bottom or the top?
I always fucked it up from the top, probably until I was like in 5th grade. Someone showed me like,
just do it from the
down.
fucking bottom, bro.
Yeah.
Dude, I gotta tell you though, like after like losing this weight, it's really hard to stay healthy, man. Like just like hanging out with people and just socializing is the part that will fuck you up.
Yeah.
Because I hate being the person. It's not even the person. It's a value thing. So if I go out to eat, right, and I spend, let's say, $20 or $30, I want to walk away feeling like, oh shit, this was a delicious meal.
Yeah.
But then I have to drop $20 on a fucking salad? Yeah. That shit pisses me off.
I can't go out to eat anymore. When I go and get like even a Panda Express and it's like fucking $15, I'm like, what's happening? What happened to this country? What happened to a regular plate that's like $8.99? You know,
I think that's like the one thing that RFK doesn't understand, right? RFK,
this guy,
RFK just goes, like, look, I understand, your heart and where it's at, right? Red 14 is gonna come, and the red guys are gonna come in and they're gonna kill everybody.
It wasn't a dog in Korea; it was a goat.
Yeah.
You ate a dog, bro.
Yeah, it's like I ate a goat. Nope, you ate a dog. You ate a mung mung. You did. It's okay. Like you ate a fucking dog. But it's just like RFK. I think we understand that the food is bad for us, right? I just think that when you're so fat, we don't care. It's just like, you have any idea what yellow red 14 does? It's like, dude, maybe we would listen to him more if we could fucking stand his voice. Which sucks.
It's harder for me to take him seriously, A, because of his voice, but B, because he was also a former heroin addict. He's on steroids.
Yeah.
He does weird little practices here and there, like in order to ensure his life, whatever. Oh, did you see when someone protested him, like when he was at a Senate hearing?
No.
Someone just stood up to be like, RFK, you're the... And he freaked the fuck out. Obviously, because, what happened to his dad, uncle. Yeah. And so that's like a real thing for him. He's like looking over his shoulder like someone's gonna try to kill me.
Dude, I would be too. I mean, his family history shows that he might get killed.
Yeah.
Which is scary as fuck, dude. Like I'm actually surprised that he even went into the political realm. Like if I knew like this is my family history, I'm not doing shit. If anything else, he should just be a Reddit incel. You just never leave. Just be inside your room and just fucking red 14. Just fucking type it out instead.
Did you see his whole speech about autism too? Where he's like, people with autism will never play baseball, but it's like
you talk about his friend Kwani.
Yeah. You look at Major League Baseball players today. They are the most autistic professional athletes out there.
Dude, best example of autism, Mikey Musumeci. He's like the best grappler and like jiu-jitsu kid in the world. And he is struck with the tism, dude.
Yeah.
That's all he has. All he does is eat pizza all day and then pasta.
That's right. He only eats one type of food.
Yeah, he just eats fucking pizza and pasta, one meal a day. And then have you heard him on a podcast?
He kind of still talks like he's 14 years old, and I don't like bullies.
Yeah. Dude, it's so funny because when I see that, like his tism is so strong. On a podcast, he's the worst guest ever because he doesn't understand like speaking cadence. Like he doesn't understand when to stop talking, and he just keeps going at it. And when he gets into his mode, tunnel vision. Right. So it's like when I look at him, I'm like, dude, RFK, tism might be the superpower for sports.
We're all touched with it, right? We all have a little bit of it that allows us to do more than somebody else, and it makes us deficient in a lot of areas.
Dude. So recently, I was in a room full of a bunch of people with a form of tism, dude, and they're neurodivergent, right? And listen, I understand ADHD, I understand ADD. It's just sometimes with people now, there's like this like period where there's so much knowledge out there that you can almost like self-diagnose yourself to a point of like you're putting yourself into this hole and you're excusing stupid behavior, right? And it's something that I don't like, right? Because I understand when people say that they have ADHD, ADD. So do I. Like I'm like literally diagnosed. I got medication.
I have it too, but I'm not a fucking asshole.
Yeah, exactly.
Shit, right?
Like if there's a point where I can recognize it, there are moments where, I have these certain behaviors and I go, oh, okay, let me just dial back a little bit, right? Yeah. So I have to catch myself, and sometimes it slips out. The tism is strong in me. So, but what happens, dude, and I never been in a room where there was just like 4 people who are so like neurodivergent to the point where it started like irritating me, where I'm like, holy shit, you guys are all fucking annoying, dude. And what happened was like I was in a room, people were high, they all had the tism.
Yeah.
Could you imagine being in a room where 4 people are trying to talk over each other?
I was just gonna guess that that's what you're gonna say. These people are all talking at the same time,
dude,
thinking they have the most important thing to say.
Ed, I wanted to die.
Yeah.
And I just sat there for like 10 or 15 minutes and none of them would give in.
And they're all talking to one person. Yeah.
They all were having 4 thoughts at the same time that they didn't want to like let go. So all 4 of them were trying to get their point across for 4 different subjects for 15 minutes straight.
And they're all looking at each other and talking at the same time too, dude.
My God, dude.
Those are like some of the worst podcasts too.
Bro.
When they're all talking at once, like only one person, guys.
Here's the crazy thing too. So while this was happening, I was just sitting there staring at the other person in the room that doesn't have the tism, and we just kept looking at each other and looking at everybody else. Yeah. Just wondering.
It's like real life uncut gems.
Yeah, yes.
Dude, quiet.
I was wondering when one of the tards were going to give it. Right? It's like, is one of you going to stop and listen to what the other person is saying, or are all of you just going to shout at each other nonstop? Right. So they just kept going. So I sat up and I just walked out because I was like, oh, this is not going to end.
Right.
And so finally, when I went into the other room, one of the tism guys came out. And this motherfucker was like, man, these guys, dude, they talk a lot. I'm like,
it's like, you were just
I was like, you were the one that talked the most.
Yeah.
But they don't see it.
Yeah.
At all. So he's like, these motherfuckers, dude. I'm like, holy shit. You don't see that you're the king of all of them.
Well, here's
the king of tism.
Were they all men too?
All dudes.
Okay. I have a feeling too that it's a guy trait because you never run into autistic girls do that shit.
Oh, so I found out
they take turns talking.
Yeah, I found out from my doctor. I guess like men have like, if you have a kid who has like, if you are neurodivergent, like in terms of like a ADHD, ADD, like if you're a guy specifically, like the chance that your kid will have it is like exponential. Right. I guess like girls don't it's very uncommon that a girl will have ADHD ADD. I guess like it's some type of like biological adaptation or something like that, but that's why I don't know any girls with it, but a lot of guys have it.
Right. I know a couple girls with it,
and I know people who say they have it and they fucking don't. I was like, I know, let me show you, dude.
It's like, oh, my ADHD. It's like, no, you're just you're
just unorganized, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you fucking idiot. Like, what the hell are you talking about? You're stupid, dude. It's like I saw this like Instagram reel that kind of super resonated me. It's with this psychologist, and she's like, being in this industry, we started to realize that there's a lot of people who self-diagnose themselves, and they use that as an excuse for poor behavior now.
Right.
Where it's like, if I as a clinical psychologist tell you this is not what you have, and your response is this is what I have, then you're not here for help. Like, you're here for me to give you a tool for you to use as a weapon for you to excuse your bad behavior. And she says that she sees it a lot now. They'll come in and they go, I have this. I do my whole thing. We have a couple of sessions. Like, hey, I don't think that's what it is. What about this? And you go, nope, this is what. And so you're here just to pay me to give you this tool so you could use as a weapon in conversations for other people. And she finds that a lot in her clients. And I'm like, holy shit. And it's kind of what I talked about with a psychologist buddy of mine who he stopped practicing now because he's kind of like tired of this like generation. It's like, you guys don't want help. Like I'm literally.
They want to be special, and to be special, you need some kind of affliction.
Yes.
So to heal that affliction, then they're just going to be a normie,
Yeah. It's just
Social media, we're all fucking special now.
I hate this. Have you seen? I saw this other clip too, where it was like two people who were podcasters, and they came on. And it's like, oh, I have this thing. Oh, you have this thing too. And they're like bonding over the fact that they have this like psychological ailment. It's like, do you enjoy this? Like, do you enjoy that?
Just find the silver lining in fucking being borderline or bipolar.
Because like, yeah, like for me too, when I went to get tested for like ADHD, ADD, I was like kind of arguing like, I don't got it. You know what I mean? I'm like, because I don't want it. I'm like, I don't have it. Like, I don't. And they're like, well, you have like the clear markers for it. And I'm like, oh shit, do I have this? I'm like, nah, it's not true. But then you keep looking at the stuff in your behaviors. And it's like,
in your
fuck.
whole life.
Yeah.
Your whole life, your parents are like, no way good.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you? Why don't you remember this? Why do you forget this? Why are you stupid? They think literally called us retarded, like Pyeongshins and stuff, and they just don't know what ADHD is. Yeah.
That was the hardest thing, like you would hear, especially like in like Asian families, where they would almost get angry at like doctors and physicians if they told them that they had autism or ADHD. They're like, my kid is not retarded. And they're like, I never said your kid was retarded, dude. Like,
I heard you. You just said. But dude,
that shit was crazy, dude.
when I was in 5th grade, there was a parent-teacher conference. My parents come in, we're sitting down, and then I remember this. My 5th grade teacher was like, Edward is different. Edward has a lot of talent for this and that. I think he should go to this other school. It was like a gifted student school, right?
Yeah.
And my dad looked like he was gonna fucking beat his ass. He was so mad. And even to this day, I can't understand it. He was like, no, like that. And then
like he's talking to a pit bull?
Yeah.
No.
And then my mom looked pissed too. And then the teacher's like, no, this is like a good thing. He's like, da 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 da. And then they looked at me as if I did something wrong.
That's crazy.
And I was scared. And I looked at my teacher, and he looks at me like in shock, like,
You're fucked,
I'm
dude.
so sorry.
Yeah.
And that was the end of that.
But there's a lot of like Korean parents that would do that type of shit too. It's almost like when they hear that, they look at it like a scarlet letter, right? You're not going to tell me that my kid's perfectly fine, right? Nobody said he's not fine. Like, you keep adding these things to this that it doesn't fucking exist. Like it's almost like the parent too that they don't want to hear that their kid is the troublemaker in the school,
Right.
and that's how they're interpreting it. So even now, like as a parent, like I'm so scared of like becoming the parent that can't see my kid's like flaws or.
But are you going to be in denial of it though?
No.
That's what I get bothered by some parents. It's like, are you in denial with what a piece of shit your fucking kid is?
Yeah.
He just threw a fire truck at my fucking crotch, man.
Dude, it's like.
That's a true story. Not happened to me, but a friend of mine. He like pulled an all-nighter editing, and then he had to go to this family function, and he ended up falling asleep on this beanbag. And then he said he woke up because this kid threw a toy fire truck straight at his dick.
See, that kid might be retarded. And see, that's one of the parents that you got to talk to. There are like these kids too, and now that I'm a parent, I could have these conversations with my other friends who have kids.
Yeah.
But like I was asking my homegirl, like, because her kid's like a bit of a troublemaker, right? And I asked her, like, how did you, like, was it hard for you to be like, oh shit, my kid got an issue and I got to like step away? She goes, yeah, it's hard because as a parent, you only see your kid for what you want to see them, right? And so sometimes when somebody else tells you something about their kid, you immediately get angry because the other thing she realized too is that kids can be really conniving. Because my kid, to me, is very respectful. He's the sweetest kid. But I got to look at my kid as a person outside of who he is in this household. Because he goes, in the household, he's an angel. But at school, he's a fucking bully. And she couldn't accept it, right? Until like multiple things started happening. So, and also too, she told me like sometimes it's not even that he's being deceptive. His perception is so skewed that the stories that he tells me, he truly believes. And so if I'm coming down on him, he's like, why doesn't my mom believe me? And then she had to observe him at church, right? So she said that this was a great example of this. She goes, he told me that these kids were bullying him, right? And what she found out is that he wasn't being bullied. He got angry because the kids weren't doing what he told them to do. So he got mad and he started like fighting them. He goes, well, they were being mean to me. And what she found out is like, they were being mean to you. You're the fucking asshole because you got mad at them because they don't want to follow the leader, which you think you are. So that was like a huge moment for her where she was like, oh, fuck. In his mind, he's telling me the truth.
Yeah.
But his truth is that he's a little bitch, right? But he doesn't see it. So now she has to like somehow whooshu this whole situation to get him to understand that this behavior isn't okay. You're not being bullied. You're a fucking asshole, right? But for the whole time, she was on her kid's side because she remembers in high school where she got bullied and her parents wouldn't believe her.
Yeah.
So she didn't want to put that onto her kid, but it just turns out that her kid's a little dick. So it's like parenting is complicated, man.
Well, I don't know if it's too soon for you, but if someone were to criticize your son, isn't it a reflection on you? Are they criticizing you? Because look at what happened with LeBron James and Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah.
What do you think of that situation now? Because it came up seemed like, don't talk about my son. It's like, hey, your son's in a fucking professional league. Yeah. We're going to say whatever we want. And then it turned into more or less like LeBron James being pissed that you're criticizing me as a father. Like, I'll fuck you up for that.
This is my opinion on it. Like, LeBron James is fucking stupid. Yeah. Like,
he's a bit of a pseudo-intellectual. He's always on page 1 of a book he's reading.
Even that, I think there's a picture of him reading a book upside down.
Yeah, I think that's...
Like, come on, bro. Yeah. My favorite LeBron James thing, it was like, he goes, man, I'll read. He's like Ilya Taporia. It's like, I read books. You know, like, my favorite book is X, Y, and Z. And they're like, what's your favorite part of it? Shit, everything. Like, dog. I said that in high school when I was trying to impress a girl. Yeah. This fool said everything. He goes, what's your favorite part of the book? That part where there was words? You know what I mean? Like, did you see that Ilya Taporia thing on Joe Rogan?
I just saw the clip from the
it's
podcast.
And I understand, too, it's more of a reflection of Ilya Taporia speaking, like, multiple languages and trying to explain. And it's hard, right? But it just came off so hilarious. Like, he's, like, never read a book. He goes, what do you like doing? I read so many books. Yeah. You know that part of the book where you open it and there's pages and there's, like, words? That's my favorite part of a book. You know? And then he's just, like, stumbling over his words. And just, LeBron James is a version of that, right? The reason why I didn't like what LeBron did at that moment is because, number one, Bronny, what is his biggest criticism? Nepotism. Yeah. Right? Daddy's always going to come and save you. You embarrassed your child at his workplace. It's his job. He is an athlete. He doesn't need you to do that. And so already what he's facing is that people think that, number one, you're not that talented, you're not that great. It's just because daddy always has to save you. So what does LeBron do? He comes in and does the exact same thing that he gets criticized for. It's like, you just fucked your son. And you don't even realize it. And you didn't do it because you were protecting your son. You were protecting your ego. I'm a good father. You don't talk about my kid because that's a reflection on me as a father. Yeah. And you do it to Stephen A. Smith, a guy who's already known to just, criticize, which, by the way, what Stephen A. Smith said wasn't really that bad, right?
No, he was just saying, like, he's not ready for the league. Yeah. Like, there's somebody out there, who comes from nothing, right? And he could have had that spot. He could have been drafted at that spot who's way better than Bronny James.
Yeah. And also, too, it's just like, are you mad at the sports commentator for making comments about sports? You know what I mean?
For doing what he does.
Doing what he does normally. I mean, Stephen A. Smith, that's what he does. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm not, like, defending Steve. He said, like, some crazy shit, but that wasn't one of them. And also, too, Stephen A. Smith. Come on. Knock it off, man. Like, what did he say after? He goes, if LeBron would have came up to me, I would have swung. I would have swung. Did you forget that we saw a video of you punching? Yeah. Did you forget Stephen A. Smith with your fucking crazy receding hairline?
Knee punches?
Yeah, the knee punches, the dick punches. Did you forget that we have that footage? Now, I'm not saying I would have come through, but if you would have stepped up to me, I would have knocked his head off. Like, come on, Stephen A. Smith. Let's not do this, dude. It's just like, I'm getting to understand, too, that I feel like the people at the highest level at whatever they do, they have like this very skewed perception of who they are.
How important they are. Yeah. Have you seen every time he walks into an arena, NBA arena, to get a seat to watch a game? No. He literally walks as if every eyeball is on him, like he's the most important person in the room.
Talking about Stephen A. Smith?
Yeah. There's just like compilations of him, the way he walks into a room, and it's just kind of cringeworthy. Like, you just talk about sports. You're a journalist.
I will say this, man. Stephen A. Smith if Stephen A. Smith one day was approached by Sesame Street and they're like, I want to turn you into a Muppet, very easy.
Very easy.
Very easy. As of right now, as a living human being, if I saw strings attached to his arms, I'd be like, that makes sense.
Yeah.
He looks like
Muppet.
a Muppet. It's fucking hilarious. He doesn't look like a human being.
Right.
Him and Skip.
Skip Bayless.
Yeah.
Right.
They are two of the most craziest talking people in sports ever.
Yeah, and then to think that they used to work together, but I think that's their whole vibe, though. They're the proto blogger, aren't they? To say outrageous things on television.
Yeah.
And then now people on the internet can do what Stephen A. Smith does, but that's bullshit compared to what Stephen A. Smith does. But it's like, it's the same bullshit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Except one we pay more attention to, and for some reason, give them $100 million to do it on TV, and the other was just freedom of speech.
Yeah. It's just kind of crazy. Like when I heard Stephen A. Smith say that he would have knocked off like LeBron James' head, he would have socked him in the face.
Yeah.
It's like, you really are fucking like insane. Like you don't know who you are.
So then these are just two insane egomaniacs confronting each other.
But one person has a crazy skill in a certain sport.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if LeBron James does like all the stupid shit, at least I could say like, dude, he's one of the greatest basketball players that have probably ever hit the league.
Yeah.
You know, Stephen A. Smith, it's like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on.
I guess you're a great journalist. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, cool, whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's like, even if LeBron James can't fight, he's gigantic. He's literally a fucking giant.
He'll snap your wrist.
You know, LeBron James was one of the markers to realize I was super fat. Because
Yeah.
because when I saw his stats, it was like LeBron James, like 6'8", 220 pounds. I'm like, I weigh more than LeBron James?
Yeah.
What the fuck? I'm 6 feet tall. I'm like 280 pounds.
Yeah.
I weigh 60 pounds more than fucking LeBron James. That shit blew my mind.
Well, at least that's a wake-up call for you.
Yeah.
Did you see it earlier this month or last month? They released the health report of Donald Trump. They list him as 6'3", 225.
He's 6'3"?
They say he's 6'3", 225.
No, he's-
You know who else is that? DK Metcalf. the most elite of like wide receivers. They're all like fucking bop, 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 shredded because they got to run back and forth, and they're that huge.
He's not 225.
He's trying to say he's 6'3", 225. Barack Obama is 6'1", and there's photos of them standing together the same height. There's photos of Donald Trump. You know, have you seen him lean forward like Michael Jackson?
Yeah, he's built like a Southern auntie, dude.
But that's because he wears these platforms.
Oh, is that what that shit is?
That's why he like leans.
He might have been 6'3" when he was younger, but when you get older, you're
when you get older, he's like almost 80 now, right?
Yeah, he's like 6 feet, maybe
Maybe
my
6
height.
feet, yeah.
A good 300.
Yeah, 300.
A solid 300,
Yeah,
dude.
dude.
I only know because same height, we had the same build. So
Yeah.
you're probably close to 300. Maybe you're definitely more than me. So I would say he's 300 pounds. Get the fuck out of here, dude. He's shaped so funny. He's shaped like, he stands like Peter Griffin from Family Guy with the hands this way. Because he's so fat that it makes his fucking hands like pronate inwards this way. It's so fucking just. If you guys have the time, watch any Family Guy episode.
Yeah.
And then put it side by side of Donald Trump, and his hands are like this. It's so fucking funny.
I mean, people make fun of him like, oh, he can't walk up and down steps, this bullshit, whatever, physically. But have you seen an old video of him like throw out the first pitch at a Yankees game?
No.
Motherfucker has an arm.
Really?
He can throw. Like, because he used to play baseball like growing up.
Oh shit.
Yeah, but then again, you look at the footage; it's from the like 90s.
Yeah.
something, 2000. So it's like he's an old man now, you know. But then people forget that he's almost 80, so they want to talk shit like, "Oh, you're just a flabby, blah, 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 blah," all
Yeah,
this
he's
shit. Just
80-something.
say he's old.
Yeah.
That's enough.
Because I would
He's
say
frail.
too. I would say too, if you're gonna roast him about that stuff too, you better have done the same for fucking Biden. That fool was barely awake. He was sleeping all the time. Dude, Sleepy Joe was one of the funniest fucking lines he ever said to him, dude. I don't know why that stuck
It
with me.
just stuck.
Yeah.
Everything he says stucks.
He's
Stucks,
really
sticks.
good at talking shit, man. Like when I went back to some of his old videos, I was like, maybe he was a lot nicer when he was younger. No, he was not. he was arguably meaner when he was younger, dude.
Right.
This is like a softer version of him. I was kind of shocked, like looking at his dude. He would fucking go in on people, dude.
Oh yeah, he's a major shit talker.
He's a New Yorker.
Yeah, exactly.
Wall Street guy. That's what it reminds me of. I'm like, oh shit. So like when I see him now, I'm like, oh, you're actually a lot kinder than you used to be, which is kind of insane to say.
It's hard for me to believe that he's a sober person. You know, maybe not alcohol, but then, dude, he looks like he runs on amphetamines. Like it could be Coke or Adderall or something. To me, it's just like you can't be sober, dude. I don't understand how you just you're like that regularly.
Like I said, the people at the highest positions have literally the highest level of delusion,
Right.
and that's him. I'm the best. I'm the greatest at everything. You know, whatever you do, I can do better.
I mean, he changes the bar so much. Like, can you imagine if Obama was saying he's 6'8", you know,
Yeah.
some bullshit, just some bullshit. But what are you gonna do and say, right? What does it matter if he's lying or not? Because it's clear as day that Donald Trump is lying about literally his physical appearance that we can see.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That's the state of the world we live in now. It's just like, that's whatever.
Also, too, like, you know, he appointed, you know, RFK, right? But then he's the biggest consumer of processed foods. His favorite shit is McDonald's
That's true.
and Coke. He loves Coke and McDonald's.
So he's in Qatar right now,
Mm-hmm.
right? You see how they had to bring in like a McDonald's truck with the McDonald's
Get the fuck out
like
of here.
ingredients, McDonald's kitchen
For him to eat.
for him to eat when he's out.
What the fuck? That makes no... I don't understand. Dude, this is
That's
so-
crazy because that's the only thing
hilarious.
he eats.
That's hilarious.
It's insane.
Could you imagine, like, if he ate healthy, what he would look like right now? Because the fact that he's alive at 80-something, eating McDonald's every day is fucking wild.
It's really weird. He's
blessed.
an anomaly in that way too. It's like whether he's running on 100 miles per hour all the time, or he's just like, you know, the way he talks, he can just keep bullshitting until you're tired of listening to him. Like, did you hear the commencement speech? The
No.
graduation? He just rambled and didn't make any fucking sense.
He's getting into his Biden era. He's getting a little old, huh?
So he's getting there too. You know, I mean, he kind of always was-ish.
Yeah.
Because if you really transcribe what he's saying, you try to read it, it doesn't make any fucking sense.
Go back to just like if you watched his like presidential debates, his first run,
Yeah.
dude, he was way more lucid.
He was very
Yeah.
sharp. George W. Bush, same thing. You look at a 2000 debate speech, and then by 2007, 2008, he seems so out of it.
Bro, go look at fucking Biden, dude.
Yeah.
Biden was sharp as a fucking tack. This fool was an assassin, dude. I forgot, he was like on like David Letterman or some shit, and I was just hearing him. I'm like, who the fuck is this?
Like in the 80s or 90s?
Like back, yeah,
Yeah.
Because I forgot what political position he was, but for whatever it was he was the youngest person to ever get in office at that point. And so when you hear him speak, dude, he was a fucking tactician. He was like slaughtering people on the mic. So I understand like people's vision of him of who he used to be before. And I think that's how people view Trump too from his first presidency. So they go, oh, this guy's this. But then I see him now and I did a side by side. I'm like, oh shit, he's old, dude.
Yeah.
He's getting there.
I think we should have an age limit of presidents. 65.
Yeah.
That should be the age limit. Because how many fucking companies have CEOs that are 65 and older?
I think if you have diarrhea every day, you can't be the president.
Yeah.
Like
if you have to
100%.
if you have to wear a diaper,
Yeah.
you know.
There's no way. If you're wearing a diaper, dude, you can't be the president.
Yeah. I mean, the other thing being, I like if why not like a 40 or 50-year-old president again? Didn't Obama get in there when he was like 48 or something?
Yeah, he was like one of the younger ones for sure.
Yeah, JFK was also in his 40s when he first got in. For some reason, we just don't trust younger presidents when they've proved to be the best
Yeah, I feel like
in our lifetimes.
it's interesting though. Like when 80 is fucking old,
It's
dude.
really old because how can, even if you owned a company or not owned a company, you worked for a
Are
company.
you hiring an 80-year-old?
Yeah, as your CEO.
Yeah.
No,
That's not
no
going to
way.
happen. Like even a buddy of ours too, like he's dealing with somebody who's a client right now who is a lawyer. and he's like in his upper 80s, and it's so hard to deal with him because they're so old and set in their ways and they don't understand certain things. But mind you, this guy at what he does, he is really, really or used to be.
Yeah.
Right? But then you can't beat Father Time.
Yeah.
Ever. I mean, there are a few people, unless you're like an Okinawan person, like in Japan,
Yeah.
where you're just sharp as a tack till you're 180 years old.
All those, there's like a Seventh-day Adventist or Mormons because they don't drink caffeine or soda and shit.
I
They just
watched
live forever.
That Blue Zone documentary, you know, where it's like the areas where people live the longest. And like Okinawa is like one of them in that one prefecture. But it's like, dude, they just be eating bitter melon and vegetables all day. Fuck that, dude. I'm not trying to live 180 years old and eating that bullshit. Give me fucking Donald Trump's diet, dude.
Yeah.
Give me that diaper. Give me that diaper.
Yeah, by the time you're 80, I want to do heroin. I just want to shit my pants. You know, I don't want to bathe myself. Like,
No, shout outs to Donald Trump, dude. I would love to, if one day if I could ever talk to him, I just want to sit there and just have him blab to me for an hour. Because I feel like he could just talk to himself and I could just sit
yeah.
there.
Oh yeah, he could. That's what I keep hearing about him is like in person, he's the most charming person on the fucking planet. And that's why people are like immediately drawn towards him outside of politics and shit.
Yeah.
You know, like Bill Maher's getting a bunch of shit right now because he had dinner with Trump recently. And he was, in his monologue, he was saying, he's just a normal fucking person.
Yeah.
I told him in his face that this policy fucking sucks, that this was bad, this is bad. And then he's like, eh. And then they'd move on to have a regular normal person talk.
I hate this thing that you did and that thing that you
He's
did.
like, yeah. That's it.
Gotta love McDonald's.
Yeah. Had the Big Mac.
Yeah, sweet and sour is great. Nobody else does it like McDonald's. I love McDonald's. That's what he does too. That's what they found in the Joe Rogan podcast. Like he goes on these crazy tangents.
Yeah.
Because the frustrating part about me in that podcast was like, yeah, okay, he seemed like a normal person, but he couldn't stay on subject. It's because he's a sweet talker.
That's why I couldn't listen to him like on Rogan and Flagrant because it's like, dude, just like speak like a normal fucking person.
Yeah.
Please. Where he speaks to the world like everybody's dumb.
Yeah.
The whole world is stupid and I'm the smartest person.
He's so good at these like random tangents. So the people like, let's just use this as an example. Like Joe would be like, "Oh, what do you think about this policy that blah 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 blah? Well, how does it affect like our relations with, you know, America and Russia?" He goes, "Russia's a great country. You know, I went there in Russia once in 1987. It was fantastic. God, did you know they have really good food out there?" And this random, so it's connected, but it's not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then finally, after 15 minutes, he'll go back to what he's talking about, but he's already kind of distracted you with something else, and he'll barely touch on it, and then he'll switch to another subject.
His strategy is bullshit.
Yeah.
It's bullshit.
Yeah. It's bullshit. My study's not a retard.
It's a bullshit.
Yeah.
But fuck.
Well, guys, that wraps up this episode of the Genius Brain Podcast. I know we're doing like fast episodes. I'm in the middle of a move right now. So as of right now, you either get these 35 to 40-minute episodes or you get absolutely fucking nothing. So Genius Brain every Sunday is at 12 p.m. I don't know what this episode is about, but it's an evergreen topic, so I enjoy it.
Yeah.
You can catch Genius Brain every Sundays at 12 p.m. You can catch Ed at Ed Park VP and Manga Miata. We'll see you all next time. Kiss me in the mouth. Peace.
Peace.